the Honorable George Opariado, who has shown significant organizational ability regarding the mobilization of Ghanaian youth to achieve set objectives. Today he is here to delve into the output of his ministry and how in the last 6 months he has worked to realize President Mohamed's dream of empowering Ghanaian youth, offering them jobs, and ensuring that the future of this country is placed in their hands. Now, without taking any more of your time, I would invite to the microphone the Honorable George Opariado, who is Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment. Mr. Minister, the microphone is yours.
Minister in charge of Government Communications, Chief Director from the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment, heads of agencies that are here this morning, directors of the ministry, young persons present and those watching us on TV and listening to us on their various radio sets, members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is both an honor and a duty to address you on the progress of some key policy initiatives and flagship programs undertaken by the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment and its sector agencies. His Excellency the President, in line with the resetting agenda, established the Ministry of Youth Development and Empowerment to address the aging needs of young people in our country. This initiative recognizes the vital role that our youth play in socio-economic development and aims to harness their immense potential for the benefits of this nation. The ministry was established through Executive Instrument EI 1-2025 to create an inclusive youth ecosystem that empowers young Ghanaians to contribute meaningfully to national development whilst remaining globally competitive. The ministry's work is anchored on 5 strategic thematic areas. The first is health and well-being of the youth. The second is skills training and education. The third is economic empowerment that includes labor market mobility and creating of decent jobs for young people. The fourth is civic engagements and community participation. And the fifth is personal development and leadership. The following critical youth development agencies were also realigned under the ministry's mandate. The National Youth Authority to coordinate and facilitate youth empowerment activities. The Youth Employment Agency to develop, coordinate, supervise, and facilitate job creation for the youth in Ghana. The National Service Authority to deploy a pool of citizens 18 years and above to participate in 1 year of national service. The National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEP, to provide integrated national support for startups and small businesses. And then the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat to award scholarships to brilliant but needy Ghanaians. Ladies and gentlemen, since the establishment of the ministry 7 months ago, we have designed several programs and critical projects specifically aimed at addressing the needs of the youth. These initiatives are intended to promote the development of the youth and equip them with skills, support, and resources for sustainable livelihood. In line with the goals of the resetting agenda and our mandate to prioritize the involvement of young people in our initiatives, each policy and intervention has been carefully crafted with their needs and aspirations in mind. In fulfillment of His Excellency John Dramani Mohamed's pledge to young people in this country, the ministry supervises the implementation of 2 of its important flagship programs at Youth Development and Empowerment. And these 2 programs are the Ejumera program, which is being implemented by the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, and the National Apprenticeship Program, which is being implemented by the National Youth Authority. The Ejumera program, distinguished guests, to develop a dynamic entrepreneurship drive aimed at supporting young businesses. The Ejumera program was launched by His Excellency the President on 28th April 2025 at the Prempeh Assembly Hall in Kumasi. Specifically, the Ejumera program seeks to provide strategic business development training to equip beneficiaries with practical entrepreneurial skills for sustainable business growth, market access facilitation, to connect youth-led businesses to viable markets, ensuring their products and services reach potential customers, startup capital to provide financial support for youth-led businesses under the program, and then continuous mentorship to offer ongoing guidance that enhances decision-making and long-term business success. The goal of this program is to create a new generation of young job creators and reduce over-dependency on public sector jobs. The belief and hope of His Excellency is that by the time his 4 years is over, at least a unicorn company would have been birthed through this idea. Funding. In further demonstration of government's unwavering commitment to economical empowering Ghanaian youth, an amount of 110 million has been allocated by the Ministry of Finance this year under the directive of His Excellency the President for the nationwide operationalization of the Ejumera program. This financial backing sends a strong signal that we are not merely announcing intentions, we are resetting the country and investing in the future of young people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to report that the program received over 8,000 applications in the first week alone. To date, we have received more than 120,000 applications through both the online and manual submission channels, all of which are under review. We recognize that the future of this country depends on the empowerment, education, and inclusion of our youth in national development. As a ministry, our duty extends beyond merely supporting young people. We must provide them with the essential tools, skills, and opportunities required for their growth. The National Apprenticeship Program. Ladies and gentlemen, in a strategic effort to address unemployment and enhance skills development, the National Apprenticeship Program was inaugurated on April 30th, 2025 at the main conference hall of the University for Development Studies in Tamale. The NAP aims to promote self-employment by offering young Ghanaians free technical and vocational training. Successful apprentices will receive certification, startup capital, and the equipment necessary to establish their businesses. For the first time in the history of this country, apprentices will receive a monthly stipend to support them whilst undergoing training. In implementing the program, we have partnered with relevant sector stakeholders and technical training institutions to provide practical skills training to about 500,000 young people nationwide in various fields, ranging from artisanal, technical, to vocational skills. A total of 115,000 participants have applied for the program, which includes 95,819 trainees and 19,190 trainers. Among the applicants, 57,897 were submitted online. Of those submitted online, there were 18,571 males and 39,326 females and 720 youth with disability, demonstrating a commitment to inclusivity. The selection process for beneficiaries is currently ongoing. The ministry is also working with the NYA to do what we call the Prior Knowledge Certification Program, where trainers who want to train applicants will have to necessarily undergo a program through TVET and be given certification to be able to attest to the fact that they know their craft and trade before they impart knowledge. And when the processes are done, they will be given certification to that effect. Funding. This year, His Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, through the Ministry of Finance, has allocated 300 million Ghana cedis to this program as a deliberate effort to promote skills development amongst the youth. The program is scheduled to start on August 12, 2025, where the first cohort of trainees will be matriculated. This program is not just about training, it is about employability. We are ensuring that every young person enrolled will receive industrial relevant skills to either find decent employment or start their own businesses. This is one of the largest apprenticeship drives in our country's history, and it reflects His Excellency's deep commitment to solving unemployment through skills development and enterprise creation. Successful trainees who have completed their apprenticeship and wish to start their own businesses will be onboarded onto the Ejumera program for access to startup capital and continuous mentorship. This is part of our broader agenda to transition participants of the National Apprenticeship Program from apprenticeship to what we call entrepreneurship. The National Service Deployment of 2025 and 2026 service year. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 2025 to 2026 service year, approximately 130,000 prospective national service personnel drawn from accredited tertiary institutions across the country will be deployed to public and private user agencies seeking skilled temporary personnel to support their operations. All accredited tertiary institutions have submitted class lists for the 2025-2026 service year. The National Service Authority has generated PIN codes for prospective service personnel to begin enrollment. However, registration and deployment processes are currently paused due to the system shutdown of the centralized service management platform ordered for audit purposes. Shutdown of the National Service Centralized Service Management Platform. Ladies and gentlemen, as you recall, the ministry announced the suspension of the central management system used for postings by the National Service Authority. This action followed a directive from the presidency ordering the suspension of the system for a comprehensive and forensic audit by the Ghana Audit Service, and I believe we all know why we've done that. This suspension has become necessary following revelations that the system has been used to perpetuate serious financial fraud. That is the ghost name scandals that has been haunting the authority for some time now, which had become an albatross around the neck of the authority. The National Security is currently investigating the matter, whilst the Attorney General is also reviewing the docket for further actions. Plans are currently underway to deploy a new comprehensive system that will meet all the technical specifications and ensure the integrity of the system. His Excellency's pledge to the good people of this country is that under his watch, we will have no ghost names at the National Service Authority. Basic military orientation for national service personnel. In a significant move to promote national discipline, foster patriotism, and enhance the physical development of our young graduates, His Excellency, the President has directed the National Service Authority to implement a 6-week basic military orientation program. This initiative is in accordance with the National Service Act, Act 1119, and aligns with the strategic objectives outlined in the National Service Policy. The National Service Authority will collaborate with the Ghana Armed Forces to carry out this program. This orientation is designed to cover 100,000 national service personnel starting this service year. This remarkable initiative will start on the 31st of August 2025 in 2 cohorts of 10,000 and upscale to 100,000 in subsequent years. This policy is not about militarization of service personnel, far from it. It is about leadership, resilience,